fans know what they want, and I'm grateful that Danny has already accepted to fight me within the first quarter next year. 2 undefeated welterweight champions going toe-to-toe to unify the titles, something that hasn't happened in a long time. I've been adamant about it. With my career, it's not all about fame and the glory. It's about the legacy. Keith Thurman wants to make his mark in boxing history, and preferably at 147. I do see myself possibly moving up later on in life, but it's always been my goal and my dream to become the undisputed welterweight champion of the world, something that even Floyd Mayweather didn't aspire to during his career.
Speaking of Floyd Mayweather, I mean, obviously your focus is going to be on Danny Garcia, but the Floyd Mayweather cloud is still lingering out there somewhat.
It's a big cloud.
It's a huge
cloud.
It's a
cloud.
Is that extra added motivation for you, knowing that he could potentially still come back?
You know, I don't believe that if he was to ever come back, that he would fight any of the young fighters today. I stated it before that he most likely will try to repeat the Manny Pacquiao fight, right? Manny Pacquiao still has a tremendous following. Manny Pacquiao just came off of a good victory. You know, Manny Pacquiao so-called had the injury. I always said that when they announced that Manny Pacquiao wasn't 100%, that if he ever kind of does something, that if they really want to, they can amplify the fight. Even if there's some people saying, oh, whatever, we already saw this, that.
Right.
We've seen rematches happen time and time again in the sport of boxing, you know, and really the Mayweather team, you know, everybody in the affiliation, you know, as far as on the promoter side, when it comes to a Mayweather event, the promotion is always done right, always going to produce good numbers. The real question is, and Floyd mentioned a little comment about him talking to some networks and stuff, and he's talking about whatever figures he said. Really, all he's saying is 100 million, right? Pretty much, I don't think Floyd will ever step in the ring again for less than 100 million, right? So it's going to be interesting on what's his options of making that money. You see what I'm saying? Is he really just a fighter that's worth 100 million today, no matter who he fights? I say at the end of the day, he can't fight anybody and make 100 million. There has to be something backing it. So, you know, the easiest way is to jump right back on the Pac-Man tip. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still one legend versus another legend. Rematch. You can call that a legendary rematch. There's still people that believe that if Pacquiao does things right, if he happens to catch Mayweather, Mayweather's been out, maybe he's slower. We haven't seen him perform for over a year, right? Is he getting rusty? What's going on? Pacquiao's active, right? So there's a lot of different things that you can say to really build an interest, right? I really think that if he was to do it, he's going to run it back, you know? I mean, if he was to fight a young fighter, Kell Brook just is no longer undefeated. I'm undefeated. Danny's undefeated. One of us ain't going to be undefeated soon. You know, the most interesting thing, though, I like to be hopeful. I called Mayweather out a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I've always wanted the fight. I've always wanted the opportunity. Like I said, I want to make my mark in history. I always say to be a legend, you have to beat a legend. That's the easiest way to be one. Otherwise, you have to create your own legacy, which is another reason why I want to be the undisputed welterweight champion. That way, it has nothing to do with Floyd Mayweather. It only has to do with Keith Thurman's accomplishments and what I was able to do at 147 and what I brought into the sport at 147 and the entertainment and the action that I'm bringing into the welterweight division outside of Mayweather, having nothing to do with Mayweather, right? So I see two paths on how Keith Thurman can make his dreams come true, the same dreams that I had as a 10-year-old boy, right? One is to get the Mayweather fight. By beating Danny Garcia, I will be, because currently they just elevated me. I haven't talked about this that much, but I just found out I was elevated to the WBA Super Welterweight Champion of the world, okay? So with that title, and then with Danny's title, I will hold the two titles that the last time any man has held these titles, it was Floyd Mayweather, okay? So I look forward to that accomplishment. I do believe it could possibly entice Mayweather. Does Mayweather want to get in with a young, strong dog? Last time he did, it was Canelo Álvarez. I'm more athletic than Canelo Álvarez. He's got a few more mango seasons on him. You know what I'm saying? How does he truly feel? obviously, from a personal fighter's perspective, at the end of the day, if he runs it back with Pac-Man, he's running back a scenario that he already understands. It's not new. It's not fresh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So obviously, tremendous confidence will be on his side. You know what I mean? There should never not be tremendous confidence with a fighter like Floyd Mayweather, but I'm just saying.
Right,
you know,
right. It's familiarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Having said that, then basically you're approaching the Danny Garcia fight without even thinking about the possibility of Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, small percentage.
Small percentage.
Right? Small percentage,
Right.
But the real accomplishment is having the 2 belts. The facts will be that the last man to hold those 2 titles was Mayweather. So I'll have a similar accomplishment with him. But my ultimate goal, if Mayweather is uninterested in coming back in the ring and fighting the youngest, hottest fighter in the division today, you know, if he's not interested in that, then obviously I'm not interested in it, because I'm actually interested in it, and there's no interest if he's not interested in it. You know what I mean? Which is why I've almost given up interest, because Mayweather does what Mayweather does.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And we've seen this for years now, right? So I'm just acknowledging the truth behind that. And outside of that, having these 2 titles puts me one step away from my goals of being the undisputed welterweight champion of the world, really engraving my name into the history books in a way that Mayweather didn't do for himself. 49-0, 50-0, whatever happens to his legacy is his legacy. But come March 4th, it's one step closer to one time's legacy. And then from then on, we're just one step away from making real history in the sport that I love, in the sport that I was raised on, in the sport that you watch, you report on, and that you guys love. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm happy that we have this pool of young fighters that are interested in fighting one another. So for all y'all people who think, oh, this person don't want to fight this person don't want to fight that person, bro, we want to fight. It's just how and when is it gonna happen? But the what I like to say is that the formula is there, the ingredients are there. When is it gonna get done cooking? When is it gonna get served? We don't know these answers yet, but everything is looking like we have an exciting future for the welterweight division. And this is without Manny Pacquiao, without Floyd Mayweather. I'm talking about the next generation that is apparent. One of them speaking to you right here, right now. The next generation of fighters, we are here, we are proud, and we're trying to throw down, man. So, you know, that Porter fight was a great fight. 2 young, strong, athletic people in their prime going toe-to-toe, you know.
Yeah.
And I look forward to giving you guys more performances like that one.
Keith, you're a true foodie. I love the food reference that you just kind of pulled it all together there. Just one last question for me. You seem really, really confident going into the Danny Garcia fight. Not that you never seem confident,
right,
but it almost seems like there's something a little extra there, like maybe you know something that nobody else knows. How do you see Danny as a welterweight now? I mean, do you feel like he's grown into the division, or do you think you're still bigger than him? Or?
Oh, of course I'm bigger than him. You know what I mean? You're going to make me say the line that I've always said, I'm a true welterweight. I'm a true welterweight, right? It's size and life and the way God made you is the way God made you. Okay, if you were able to be, you know, in your 26 years old, however, 27, blah, 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 and you're able to step on the scale at 140, you're not a true welterweight. You were born as a smaller dude. Adrian Broner is not a true welterweight. Never has been, never will be. Doesn't mean these kids can't compete at welterweight. It's just the physicality of it. So yes, I'm the bigger man. You know, I do believe I'm the stronger man. I believe my record proves that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, my confidence comes from where it always comes from. Self-belief without self-doubt. Okay? And this comes from just knowing. At the end of the day, I've always said it. If you can beat me, beat me. You know what I'm saying? Shawn Porter was in the fight. He was there that night. But the champ was there too.
Ooh.
Okay? And the champ took it to him. The champ walked him down. Okay?
Yeah.
There were rounds. Yes, I was on the ropes. Yes, I might have lost those rounds. Count those rounds on your finger. They do not amount to 7. I won 7 rounds. He won 5 rounds on 3 judges' scorecards. And in my personal opinion, along with some of the commentators and others people that witnessed the fight that night. You know, the one thing that I think shook Shawn up was, one, the power, right? He did feel the power. He did hold on, you know, and in the back of his head, I don't know how much in the fight he was worried about getting recaught like that, but there were times where when I was like, yo, aren't you trying to beat the champ? Don't you want the belt? Don't you want the belt? I'm walking to you, but you're backing up.
Yeah, remember.
Obviously, I'm not going to say I don't back up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say that.
Right.
I box my butt off.
Yeah.
I come to you when I've told this before, this story. I'm a yin-yang fighter. You know what I'm saying? You want to be passive, I'll be aggressive. You want to be aggressive, I'll be passive. Okay? So get used to that. Understand that I'm going to do what I want, when I want, and I can go with the ebb and flow of the bout. I can box moving backwards. You know what I'm saying? As much as I can box moving forward.
Right.
So I have no problem with what direction you are trying to force me into, you know? And then eventually there's always a turnaround point where a fighter who's been moving forward, it's time for him to take that breather and sit back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to let you sit back. I'm going to see if you want to still fight. And sometimes they don't want to fight no more. They want to start to move. They want to try to manipulate the ring and do things like that. But for Shawn Porter, that's not his fight style. You know what I'm saying? That's not his fight style. So I believe that just as a control factor, that when I was on the ropes, I wanted to be on the ropes. Okay? Now, maybe I didn't really want to be on the ropes, but I was committed to holding that position and letting it be what it is for that time, for that moment of the fight. Because there were rounds, especially in the last 4 rounds, where I knew, all right, man, you can't let this dude just have you on the ropes. You can't just get too much credit and steal these rounds. And you'll see that as soon as I touch the ropes, I pivot, I move. I do not let, within the fight, it was never the same fight. Every round was an individual round.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was a great learning experience. Once again, I believe I showed the world how tough I was, because Shawn Porter is a tough opponent. He came and brought it, but he did not beat the champ that night. It's your boy Keith Thurman, and still champion. Next year, 2017, watch your boy, 2 belts.